Hey guys, how you doing? Hopefully you're doing okay. Now I'm just going to go fairly quickly through the majority of the article. There's a link in the description, and then I'll give some commentary for whatever it's worth. If I give my commentary whilst reading through the article, this video is going to go on forever, which will get too boring. So let's try to keep things swift and on track and all of that good stuff. A Saudi woman, woman from Saudi Arabia Emirates, has been sentenced to 45 years in jail. Why? Well, because she was posting on social media. We believe that to be Twitter. We don't know for 100%. We also don't know 100% the details of what she was posting online, what her social media activities involved. We don't know for sure, but essentially we can be confident that she was either acting as a dissident, as a critic of the Saudi Arabian Emirate government, or she was somehow following, supporting, retweeting other dissidents and or activists. And she's been given a 45-year jail sentence for doing such a thing, for expressing her opinions on the internet, on that thing that we have glued between our fingers and our thumb 24/7. Her name, Noura bint Saeed Al Qatani. Okay, now is she the only person to have been given an extremely lengthy jail sentence for supporting Saudi Arabia Emirates dissidents on social media? Well, good question. No, she isn't. Here's another lady. This lady was jailed for 35 years, and she was sentenced for 35 years just a few weeks ago. Her name is Salma Al-Shihab. And what was her great crime to justify such a lengthy jail sentence, 35 years? Well, her crime, again, seemingly, was to follow, support, retweet dissidents and activists, those that are critical of the Saudi Arabian Emirates government. That's what she did. She pressed a button or two, a thumbs up or two, the retweet thing. She hearted some people that expressed a given political view, which seemingly is not to be tolerated by the Saudi Arabia Emirate government. I mean, talk about wrongthink. We talk about wrongthink, don't we, in the West? And it's something that we are aware of. There are certain subjects. I'll throw a couple of them out there. Islamophobia, kind of relevant to this topic perhaps. Islamophobia, we're not allowed to stray from the given narrative. We're not allowed to. We're not allowed to ask questions. I'm not suggesting that I want to, but it's just one of those topics that we have to be in full support of, Islam and everything to do with the Middle East. Otherwise, we get called bigots. We get told that we're suffering a dose of wrongthink, transphobia, another thing. Unless we are to agree with every last detail in regards to the trans subject, the trans issue, unless we go along with the narrative that we're told that we must adhere to, again, we will be told that we're bigoted. We will be told that we're suffering from wrongthink. And I would say there are parallels in this situation here. These ladies have been sentenced grotesquely long jail sentences. Why? Well, because they dared to sample a taste of wrongthink. They dared to express their views, which is so easy. People can now use their fingers and thumbs to express their views, even in those societies where certain people, I'm going to say women, I could be entirely wrong, perhaps don't get a public forum to express their views. I don't really know the situation in Saudi Arabia Emirates, but perhaps women or other subsets of society don't really get the power. They're not empowered. They're not given platforms in the local town square or such, in the local newspaper or whatever, on the television stations to express themselves. I don't know. I'm kind of guessing there. Maybe I'm completely wrong. So I did mention the Dawn organization before. That's mentioned in the article here. I've not looked into them, so I'm coming from a pretty ignorant position. But the article tells us that the Dawn organization is arguing that America, the United States, could have a significant impact on this type of unjust, in my opinion, jail sentences, very harsh jail sentences, if the United States were to flex their muscles and say, hey, whatever your name is, Prince, I don't know, whatever the prince's name is, if the United States would say, hey, Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, stop being so fucking ridiculous. Grow up. You can't just throw people in jail just because they say things you disagree with, you fucking morons. If the United States government as a whole, or perhaps Biden, were to say such a thing, then the Dawn organization argues that the Saudi Arabian Emirate government would indeed buckle. It would indeed say, you know what, okay, let's not jail people for 35 years, 45 years just for saying a few words. Let's be a little bit more reasonable about this. Let's remember that they have families. Let's remember that they have lives. Let's remember that discourse can only really flourish if we have freedom of speech. Discourse can only flourish if we have freedom of speech. I mean, that's a fair enough statement, isn't it? Now, I believe in some level of moderation. My experience online is such that if there is no moderation, if there is literally no restrictions to freedom of speech, if anyone can say whatever they want at any time, then we know this from our experience on social media. People are going to be overly offensive, purposefully so, overly disruptive. There'll be trolls, etc., etc. So we do have to have some restriction, some moderation, and I guess when that's the case, there is going to be subjectivity. But come on, guys, Saudi Arabia Emirates, what the fuck are you playing at? 35 years, 45 years jail just for disagreeing with some government people? Grow up.